Bones of the upper limb. Bones of the upper limb have two parts, have pectoral girdle and have the movable part. The pectoral girdle is not movable part, and the pectoral girdle is this part, the scapula, with the clavicle and acromion and the spinal. We will mention and we will talk about everything now. The first part of this clip be discussing about the scapula and its structure and anything related to the scapula. Scapula has three borders, superior, medial, and lateral. The superior border has the supramarginal scapular part and small depression here as you see, which is called suprascapular note. After this we have the coracoid process, then the glenoid. This is the glenoid. The glenoid articulates with the humerus, so it's really an important part. Glenoid has supraglenoidal tubercle, infraglenoidal tubercle, and the glenoidal cavity. Okay, let's see these things from the posterior view. Look, here's the superior border, here's the suprascapular knot, and here's the coracoid process, and here's the glenoid. That articulates with the humerus. This is the humerus. Now, this is the anterior part, anterior view. This whole area is called subscapular fossa. Subscapular fossa. Now, we are done from the first part of the pectoral girdle, which is the scapula. Let's go to the second part of the pectoral girdle, which is the clavicle. Clavicle is here. As you see, this is the superior view, this is the inferior view. Let's just focus on the superior view. As we all see, it's just like the S shape. It has two ends, acromial and sternal and acromion. The sternal will be attached to the sternal part of the thorax, and the acromion will be attached to the acromion bone. And we will talk about the acromion bone. Now, if the sternal part attached to the sternum, and it is located here. This is the medibrium of the thorax. This is the sternum. Clavicle will be attached to the medibrium of the sternum here. Because of this, we call this is the sternum end. This is the acromion end, and this is the acromion. Continuation here. Anyway, if we go to the inferior part, we can see here small depression for ligaments to articulate this sternal part to the thorax. And here at this angle we have conoid tubercle, which is actually located here. It's the same as here, but this is superior from the inferior part, which is here. We have this conoid tubercle. Then we have the trapezial line, which will be like this from the inferior side. Here, like this. Now, this is the posterior view. This is the clavicle. This is the sternal part. This is the acromion part. Like this. Look here. Now, this bone is called acromion bone, attached to the clavicle from this side, from the acromial end. And it continues to the posterior side of the scapula here. Acromial part, acromial angle, continues making the spine. This is the spine of the scapula. So spine, then the angle of the acromion with the acromion point. And as you see here, the spine will be attached to the medial ankle here. As we said, the medial ankle. From the posterior surface attached to the medial ankle here. Now, let's talk about the scapula from the posterior surface. Scapula has supraspinal fossa, infraspinal fossa, and we call them like this because this is the spine of the scapula. This is the superior part, supraspinal fossa, infraspinal fossa. Because of this, we called it supra and infra. So, this is the pectoral girdle, the non-movable part, the non-movable bony part of the upper limb. Scapula with its borders, angles, the suprascapular knot, coracoid process, then the glenoid, acromion bone, clavicle, here posterior view here, clavicle, acromion bone, making then the spine, attaching to the medial angle of the scapula. Okay, now let's go to the second part of this clip, which is the movable part of the upper limb bony.